Hey everyone, welcome to another great episode of the Smooth Business Growth Podcast, where we share 15 minutes of fast-paced, pure marketing strategies proven to move the needle in your business. So I'm your host and Captain Lindsay Phillips. I'm the founder of Smooth Sailing Business Growth, where we help busy entrepreneurs attract and convert customers faster through powerful and consistent content marketing. In fact, if you go to smoothbusinessgrowth.com, you can download your social media roadmap to help you do just that. So get ready, folks, for some profit-building tips as I chat with Carl Gould, leading authority on business, who built 3 multi-million-dollar businesses by the age of 40. That's crazy. So today he's going to share tips on how to eliminate your competition. Let's set sail. Welcome aboard, Carl.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. And I was saying, before we kind of got on here, that I've never really had a podcast or talked to anyone where we address the competition. And I think it's good and important to think about your competition. But I mean, you can underestimate your competition and you can overestimate your competition. What do you kind of think is the healthier view?
Well, yeah, I think you absolutely can. You can, because if you're successful in business, you've got other businesses that are trying to knock you off. They're studying what you're doing and they're looking for a way around you, over you, through you. So you definitely want to know what's going on with them and what they're thinking. But I'm as much as I'm a fan of that, I'm also a fan of really falling in love with the customer and understanding just how smart the customer is, how much of a buyer they are. And what I've found is that most customers want to have a path to become your best customers. In other words, they want to engage with you, everything you've got. They're totally passionate about what you do. And if you are really an expert in your niche and you really define yourself that way, you're going to attract people that really get it. And if you bring the goods, they will buy. I mean, it really is that simple. But I think a lot of companies are misdirected as to what they're trying to promote and what message they're trying to put forward to their marketplace.
That's true. And I've seen people where they're like obsessed with their competition and they like look at everything that they do. And as you say, I guess if you focus on the customer instead of obsessing about what what the competition's doing. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, you want to be aware of what's going out there on the marketplace because it is comparison shopping. People that are looking at you, they're also looking at others. So in order for you to be better, that would imply you know what they're doing. And so you always want to have an understanding as to what your competitors are doing, but then you want to look at where the flaws are in their delivery. Or what you perceive to be, and how you can then take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, some people even on the opposite flip side, it's like they think, oh, I can't compete with my competition. It's like a limiting belief, right? Like they don't even have the value, or they just feel resigned to the fact that, they'll always be bigger. So they don't necessarily try. Do you see that a lot?
Yeah, you could sometimes, in the art of war, Sun Tzu says the war is over before it starts. I mean, there are some times when you can psych yourself out of going after what you have just as good a chance of getting as anyone else. So I get it. Some of your competitors are formidable. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So respect where they come from, respect what they've done. But at the same time, you have just as much a right at that client as anyone. As a matter of fact, a customer satisfaction survey that was conducted some years ago said that 40% of your competitors' happy and satisfied customers would be willing to switch services if they found somebody who would satisfy their needs at a higher level. So that's your happy and satisfied customers.
Yeah.
Not even the ones that are ticked off at you, but you're happy and satisfied. Yeah.
I guess really think about, like you said earlier, really think about how you're serving your customers.
Right. And find out what at the end of the day, if you can answer these 3 questions, you have probably a really good idea of what your customer wants. Number 1 is what keeps them up at night? What keeps them up at night worrying, what's on their mind, whether it's related to your product or not, just where in their life right now in their business, what is the number one or a few things that worry them. Second thing is, what does your ideal client get yelled at for, feel guilty about, or get grief for at the end of the workday when they arrive home? Okay? That first couple of minutes, yeah, find out what they get yelled at for, because guess what? It's on their mind all day long because they know they're going to get grief for it at the end of the day. Third thing is, what is going on in their life or business right now, this very minute, that makes calling you a necessity? Not just like a nice to have, maybe I ought to consider, but what's going on in their life right now that makes calling you and engaging in your products and services a must or an urgency or high importance right now? You answer those three, you have a good idea of what's going on in the mind of your ideal client.
That's awesome. And there are definitely important questions, and it puts the focus in the right way. So how do you differ? Like, okay, you figured out who your competition is. You kind of look to see, how they're different or what they're doing right. How can you differentiate yourself and make you stand out?
Yeah. So I think you have to address what is top of mind of your prospects. Right. In other words, in almost all cases, we all have a business. I know I do. You probably do too, where our clients wish they can get through their life or business without hiring us. They probably wish they could do it on their own. They didn't wake up this morning and say, "Oh, that Lindsay."
Pipe dream, but yeah.
Right, exactly. She's so nice. I want to pay extra for the privilege of her being the middle woman in this supply chain. Mm-hmm. They would rather get rid of you. They'd rather make it a very easy, simple, transaction where they could eliminate us. And they wish they can get through life and business without us. If that's the case, and I suspect for most of your listeners that is the case, what that means is that your buyer, upon thinking about working with you or me or whoever's listening to your business, they go to the negatives of working with you, not the positives. Right? So think about this for a second. You're driving along in your car, you put your foot on the brake, all of a sudden the wheels grind. They make that real scratchy grinding sound, and you know what that means. That means, it's time for my brakes to get fixed. What's the first thing that goes through your mind?
It's going to cost money.
Cost money, right? So think about it. So everyone that you're out there thinking, anything positive go through your mind?
No.
Can't wait to go see Bob at the service station.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. Meet new friends. Sit on a cardboard crate. Right. So think about it. So there you are, you're an auto mechanic. And what do you put on your website? Your features, advantages, benefits, your unique selling proposition, and it's all positive. Whereas your prospects are all walking around with negative thoughts in their mind.
Interesting.
So now what you do is the strategy we use is write down what you believe are the top 5 complaints about your industry. Okay. Add a page to your website called Problems We Solve or Complaints We Address.
Yeah.
Take those top 5 complaints, put them on that page and explain how you deal with each one of them, and then make an offer. Here's how you eliminate your competitors. You make an offer to your prospects that no one else in your niche has the guts to make. And you take those 5 complaints and you say, if any one of these 5 things happen to you, I will give you all your money back. Whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I fully guarantee the fact, come to me because I understand the complaints. I understand where you're at. I feel it too. Okay. So I've created a business model where we're not going to have to deal with those complaints anymore. As a matter of fact, you come to me, they're never going to happen. But if they do, I will refund all of your money with my apologies. Okay. Now think about this. I just used a case study, as a matter of fact, and that case study is Netflix.
Yeah.
So when Netflix first started, it was a disgruntled Blockbuster Video a customer who didn't like late fees. So he started a business where he said, hey, listen, everybody, I feel your pain too. I know you don't like late fees. I know you don't like driving there. I know you don't like driving home. I know you don't like running out of movies. And I know you don't like those silly penalties when we don't rewind. quickly enough for you, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha, right? So I started a business called Netflix. All I ask is that you put your credit card on file and you walk back and forth to your mailbox. That's it. If you want to keep going to Blockbuster, knock yourself out. I'm not going to try to stop you. But if you come to me, my guarantee is that if any one of those 5 things happen to you when you're my client, I'll give you all your money back.
Interesting.
What happened to Blockbuster?
Oh, it went totally out of business.
Right. One guy in his house took down a gorilla in the space.
That's crazy.
One guy.
Because you're addressing what they hate the most, and it's like a no-brainer. You're giving them a guarantee, so they're like, what do we have to lose?
Sure. Disney World's addressed it in their amusement parks. What's the number one thing? I hate waiting online. Great. There's an express ticket. Never wait online.
Yeah.
Okay. The airlines do it. You know what? I want to board right away. There's no overheads. What do I do if there's a delay? Well, buy this ticket and you get all the way through.
Done that.
Right? We've done that stuff. So you think about it. You eliminate the competition if you take the first 5 thoughts I have about your business and you guarantee that will never happen to you. Now, if you become my client, now what happens is you'll find out very quickly that your competitors don't have the guts to make that. Here's an example. Mm-hmm. As a consultant, I'm a business coach and a growth advisor. I have no control over your business.
Right.
Okay. Right. And so imagine this. Let me ask the listeners a question. If I were to advise your company and you took all of the advice and your business shot up like a weed, who would you give the credit to? Would you give it all to me, or would you keep it for yourself?
They probably keep it for themselves.
They probably keep it for themselves. No offense taken. I know that's the answer. Now, watch this. If I advised your company and you took none of the advice and your business went nowhere, who would you blame?
Oh, you.
You'd absolutely blame me, right? Okay. No, I have no control. Right. Exactly. So you're in the same boat. So, however, I give a 5-to-1 guarantee. Which means, even though I have no control over your business, if you are not making or saving 5 times the amount of my fee, the entire thing is free. Right? Now, how many business coaches do you think can make that same offer?
I've never heard it out there in the industry yet, ever.
Right. But they all could, but none of them do.
Right.
So if I'm making that offer, who am I competing with? Everything you hate about consultants. No skin in the game. You don't know my business. Right? You're going to overcharge me, the whole bit. I addressed all of those.
That's awesome. That's really smart. And it seems like now that you're saying it, I'm like, well, that seems really obvious. Why didn't I think of that myself before?
Right. And for any of you out there, take a moment and just write down what are the top 5 complaints about your industry. Maybe not you personally, but your industry. And they're not hard to come up with. No. Everyone knows what they are.
Right.
It's just, do you have the guts to eliminate your competitors?
Nice. Love that.
All in, baby. All in.
I know. I love that. And it's just like thinking of it from a different perspective, having a slightly different focus and having a bit of creativity and being all in and having the guts to do it.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You just have to make sure that you're that committed and you believe that much in your service and the value you have to that client that you're willing to do that. And believe me, the people that are passionate about what you do, that really care and place a value on it, they will see that right away. Right away. And they will engage with you because they know just how committed you are to making sure that they get a really great experience.
I love that. And have you ever seen it backfire on anyone?
Well, sure. You can end up where you don't perform, and you can have to give them their money back, but you would have had to do that anyway.
That's a very good point, Carl.
And if you think about it, you say, well, all right, I'll give you all your money back. Think about this for a moment. You say, well, that's crazy. I'm going to get people rushing to, give refunds over and over again. But think about this. If you were servicing a customer and they had a complaint, you would likely give them their money back anyway, or work harder to make them whole. And if you know what, you tried everything, they tried everything, they're just not a match, and it just didn't work out, you'd probably still refund their money. So what I'm saying is not a huge stretch.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is package it in a way that they get, package it in such a way that, you are leading with it and you're marketing it and you're claiming that authority in the space and that full on commitment to serve the customer and what bothers them both.
That's true. Now, where does price play into it? Because I know people typically, when they think of their competitors, they're always looking at A, what they're offering, what their services are, and B, what their prices are. So you don't want to undercut, you don't want to overcut, you don't want to be, miles apart price-wise. How do you handle that part of it?
Well, if you were to ask the shoppers walking in and out of a mall, what are you looking to buy today? The highest quality products and services or the highest price products and services? What do you think they would likely say?
The best quality.
Yeah, I would agree. And so how do they judge quality?
By touching it, by feeling it, looking at their what's in it. I'm thinking of shirts right now, so fabric.
Right. What's the filter? Number one filter for quality is how much does it cost?
Yeah, that's true.
Great YouTube video about how they took a Payless shoe store on Rodeo Drive, took down all of the Payless signs and made up a French, luxury sounding name and took all the shoes and slippers and took a $20 pair of slippers and made it $240 and then sold it to people. And people were like, oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing ever. This is so good. They eventually told it to them, but it's on YouTube. Check it out. People were blown away. They thought because it was expensive.
I know. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Us humans, we're so strange.
I know. Well, but we like the shortcut. And we figured, hey, if it's high price, it must be good. And so we suggest that you have at least one premium option to engage because that sets your brand quality.
Right.
If you have a high-priced option, they're going to say, wow, she really gets a lot for her service. That must be a good service. She must be good. Now that you've convinced them on the brand quality, you can now have a menu of options at a variety of pricing. But you should definitely have what we call the obnoxious offer.
Right.
The obnoxious offer is obnoxious in price. Mm-hmm. It's also obnoxious in value. Obnoxiously high, meaning, it's at least double what your other offerings are. But when you stack all the bonuses and things they get, you're like, oh, that's a lot of money, but that actually looks worth it.
Right.
That looks like a good deal for the money they're asking.
Yeah.
And so that's where pricing would come in there. You'll help establish yourself as an expert in your niche or be regarded as, and you'll be regarded as high perceived quality if you have pricing that matches that.
I love that. Whether or not they take that offer, it's beneficial to you anyways in regards to your authority. As
a matter of fact, you're right. The beauty of it is people don't actually have to take on the offer, but they just need to see it.
Yes.
They just need to, if they read it and they're like, wow, you must be good. Yeah, we sure are. And then they have that option to buy off the menu.
Yep. I love that. That is a lot of good advice, some that I'm even going to take because you've changed my viewpoint on the competition and how to serve better and change your offers. So if anyone listening to this doesn't kick their competition out of the water, even just from this 15-minute podcast, they get their money back on the podcast.
They get back what they invested in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
That is awesome. And so how can people get to know you better and how you help build businesses? I mean, clearly you've created 3 multimillion-dollar businesses yourself by the age of 40 and help other entrepreneurs.
So they can, carlgould.com. So CARLGOULD.com is the gateway to all the things that I do. Mm-hmm. Come on, contact us. And when our paths cross again, we'll see what we can do to help you grow your business.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. They were such great strategies. Absolutely love it. So this week's 50-minute cruise to move the needle, folks, has come to an end. Thank you, Carl.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. So folks, if you're looking to achieve faster growth through content marketing and sales funnels, look no further than smoothbusinessgrowth.com. Have a profitable and productive week, folks, and may the winds always be at your back.